Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Now, I thought for today's video, I would actually review an entire series in one video, just so I don't split this up in multiple videos and keep you guys waiting. But this is the Love Through a Lens series by Curto, and I actually did enjoy it. I enjoyed all the books except for the first one. So the first one is Camera Chemistry. I rated this one I think 3 to 3.5 stars. Now, the reason I didn't enjoy it has nothing to do with Curto and everything to do with I don't think I really like novellas. I think the pacing is just too quick. And it feels slightly unrealistic because it takes place in a 24-hour period. But the concept is kind of unique. So they meet on a strangers couple shoot where basically a photographer is going to pair two strangers together and they're going to pretend they're a couple and shoot together. And then he's like, hey, I want to come back to my place for dinner later tonight. And then, a whole night of fun ensues and it's a 24-hour period. And then he realizes he wants more with her 3 weeks later. And that's it. Interesting concept. I just think it moves too quickly, but it's a novella, so I know it had to move too quickly. And this is the reason I was hesitant to buy this series, is because this is a novella and I knew that I probably was not going to enjoy it as much. But I still wanted to pick up the series because, I know I really like Curto because I'm a huge fan of the DC Star series. So I'm probably going to like the rest of the book. So I'm just going to pick it up. And yeah, I knew I would regret not reading the novella because you're like, oh, maybe you can skip it. And technically, yes, it is an interconnected standalone series. So I don't have to read and I can just read one of the books if I want. It'll make sense. I just knew if I wanted some background on these characters, I would probably want to have read this. Well, I'm still glad that I read it so that I could read the rest of the books. But probably my least favorite in this series. The next one in the series is Caught on Camera. Now, kind of how this book starts is she is going on a date to the DC Titans game, and she actually gets featured on the Jumbotron with her date, but her date is totally against it and does not want to kiss her. And this one is actually a best friends to lovers with also fake dating. And if you know me, I'm a sucker for best friends to lovers, not just a friends to lovers, but a best friend. She's actually best friends with the female main character from this book, and actually the male main character of this book is also best friends with the male main character of this book. So that's kind of how they meet, and they are both best friends, and he's actually the coach for the DC Titans. So when he sees her repeatedly put on the Jumbotron and her date won't kiss her, he actually goes up to her and kisses her on the Jumbotron, and then it goes viral, so people think that they're dating. And then he realizes that it would get his family off his back about finding somebody if they fake date, and then she could take him to the charity gala for the hospital, and he could donate some of his time and a tour for the stadium, and that would get her a huge donation for the charity gala, and she could maybe become the chief pediatrician at the hospital. So yeah, it has fake dating, but he falls in love with her. I want to say maybe he falls hard in first, but they definitely both fall pretty hard for each other, and it's kind of fun. So if you like fake dating and best friends to lovers, you will like this one so much. I gave it 5 stars. The next one in the series is Behind the Camera. Now, this one is a forbidden romance because basically staff cannot fraternize with team members, and that's what happens in this one. Basically, he is a single father who is the kicker for the DC Titans, and she is the goddaughter of the coach of the DC Titans. She is actually the daughter of the male main character from the first book in the series because he's a single dad. Forgot to mention that. Basically, she gets hired to be the team photographer, one of the team photographers, because her godfather, who is the coach, offers her a position. And then she walks in on him having a meeting with his star kicker, who is a single dad, who was I might have to step back and be on one of your reserve lists for the season because I just don't think I can do all the travel and all of that with my daughter. And he was I need some kind of childcare, but every nanny just doesn't work. They kind of only want to be a nanny because I'm famous, and because they're huge fans of me. And so then the coach is let me take care of it. And she walks in, she's well, I can nanny, basically, is how she's I need more money. She's I can nanny, and he's great. And then eventually he ends up, so she nannies, she really falls in love with his daughter. And then he's talking to her and he's well, you spend so much time driving from your apartment to here, and it seems you don't spend a ton of time in your apartment between you staying here with my daughter while I'm at away games. So why don't you just move in? Which again would go against the anti-fraternization policy. But she moves in and they fall in love. And yeah, it's again beautiful. If you like a forbidden romance with a like nanny meets single dad, I think you will enjoy it. Pretty sure I also gave this one 5 stars, but Chelsea Curto never misses except for her novellas, but that's just on me for not liking novellas. Now, the last book that is currently out in the series is Off Camera, and I would have to say this one is probably my favorite just for the way that he falls hard and first for her. So he is the social media manager for the DC Titans, and she is his rival social media manager for the Baltimore Thunderhawks. And so she just keeps getting under his skin, and they mainly have communicated via their professional accounts, like their verified accounts. Let me show you if I can show you a photo of where they like chat. Yeah, so you can get like images where they chat back and forth. Basically he has a one-night stand with her when he meets her at a bar after she had a failed date, and they just like talk together. But he does not know who she is and she doesn't know who he is. They both say that they work in marketing, which is kind of true but also kind of not. And then he ends up going to the NHL conference in Vegas, and she ends up being one of the keynote speakers. So he realizes who she is, and he's like, crap, I gotta stay away from her because like she really gets under my skin. She annoys me so much. And then she was like, hey, but we had like great chemistry when we had our one-night stand. So she was like, what if we just like, you know, did a friends with benefit type of situation? And then they do that, and then he like slowly starts falling for her, and she slowly starts falling for him, and realizes like, wait, they're both kind of badass. And he's like, wait a second, I know she's my rival, but she's pretty badass at her job. And there was a fantastic scene where she was running, and then she felt like a car was like following her, so she didn't know what to do. So she called him, and he's like, okay, I'm coming, like, what's your nearest landmark? And she was like, oh, I can see like a coffee shop. He's like, go to the coffee shop, like I'll be there. And then he ends up arriving, and she's like, you came? And he's like, you called? I'm trying to see if I can find it in here. Sorry. Oh yeah, one of the great lines is in this book is he asked her to like send him her location. So she goes, I just sent you where I am. She's like, thank you, Ab, because her name is Avery. You're doing so good, baby, and I'm so glad you called me. You're also really close to me. I'll be there soon. I just like that line, how he was like encouraging her, said, you're doing so great, like I'm glad you called me. And the way that he just like showed up for her, and she's like, you came? And he's like, you called? So fantastic. It's just refreshing to read a brand new Chelsea Curto book to me. I know these books have been out for a while, but I have not read them. And it's just a reminder that Chelsea Curto's writing is just so fantastic. And I'm just so glad that I read these books. And I cannot wait for the rest of the DC Stars series to come out this year, as well as In Stormy Weather and whatever other surprise that she has up her sleeve. There also is a 5th book in the series, which is Camera Shy, that was supposed to come out in 2025 but has not come out yet. So I do hope that it does come out, because I will pick it up. But again, overall, I enjoyed this entire series except for the novella. But that's on me for not liking novellas. It has nothing on Chelsea Curto. I think if you like novellas, you will really like this one. But I'm just not a novella girl. But yeah, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. If you'd like to see more videos where I review an entire series in one video, you can also let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another brand new video from me. You can also follow me on Instagram and Threads by going to @romanceblvd and @romanceboulevard, all spelled out, on TikTok. Until the next one, bye!